What's up, Arizona? You're watching 12 Sports Tonight. I'm Cameron Cox. We're going to catch up with the rest of the crew here in just a moment. This is 12 Sports Tonight, Arizona's OG and longest running sports show, streaming for you for free. Let's go.
Lena Washington now is joining us to talk about the Suns.
And Lena, it's never easy to play in front of your hometown fans. Some players don't handle it well, but
Sure.
You were saying in the case of Koa Peat, it's a great fit.
Yeah, I mean, what more could you ask for when you look at Koa Peat's career from a high school level to international ball to what he did at the University of Arizona, and now we get to see him blossom as a pro right down the street at Mortgage Matchup Center after last night's draft. The Suns trading for Koa Peat. His basketball career started at Perry, winning state championships every year he suited up for the Pumas. That became a premier high school career that eventually developed into a career in college that was really on pace to maybe win a national championship and bring one to Tucson. They made it to the Final Four, of course, for the first time since he's been alive. But the Peat family, we know there are many athletes in that family, but Peat didn't have the statistical season he was expecting. However, he was the best player in their final game of the season, where they achieved the records in wins for a single season for the Wildcats. And then he got 3 second-round draft picks sent to Mavericks, or really around the league, to land here at home. He watched the draft party with his friends here, his former coach, Sam Duane, at Perry, also Corona High School, Corona del Sol, where I went to school. He said, great things happen for great people. Could not be more happy for the guy fulfilling his dream to play in the NBA and staying at home, #winner. And yes, he's been a winner at every level. Again, you look at international ball with Team USA. He was the 2023 USA Men's Player of the Year, and you look at the list of names that have won that award: Cooper Flagg, Kevin Durant, LeBron James, Steph Curry.
Wow.
I mean, his career trajectory has just been on the up and up. And then we talked to Coach Duane just a couple months ago. He said he might not even have his ceiling met at U of A or even in the early stage of his pro career. But he's just such a coachable young man. He's willing to commit to whatever it takes to be a winner at that level. So slam dunk, really, for Jordan Knott and the front office. Brian Gregory, will hear from him, the general manager, here later tonight as the NBA draft wraps up. But they've got the hometown support, the local hero, and if you're looking at someone to maybe carry the torch or the mantle for someone like a Devin Booker or like a Steve Nash even, I'm putting hyperbole out there just because that's really kind of the talent that you get in Koa Peat from what we've seen in his young career so far. So it's really exciting. Shout out to the fans in the East Valley, his family that gets to come see him play. Of course, Summer League will get underway in Vegas, and then the preseason, we'll see how it's rocking out there in downtown Phoenix.
I'm happy for his family.
Yeah, me too.
Now to break down what the Suns did in the 2026 draft, time to bring in our insider, Doug Franz, host of the Doug Franz Unplugged podcast. Doug, Mr. Arizona becomes a Phoenix Sun. What do you make of the drafting or the moves to get at least Koa Peat into the Valley?
I like it. You think about how many failed second-round picks there are. I mean, Jalen Brunson did so well that everybody wants to talk about that, and everyone wants to talk about Jokic, but most second-round picks don't do well. By trading around some of your second-round picks to get first-round capital makes a lot of sense. And plus, we've already seen in the Jordan Ott, Brian Gregory regime, look at players improve. Namely, look at Rasheer Fleming last year. So why shouldn't you believe in Koa Peat? It's not like the Suns are blind to the problems of parts of his game. And I'll steal something from Dwayne Rankin. I really like what he wrote in the Republic yesterday, which was the kid wins. So far in his 5-year career, it's win, 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 and then do real well and win close and almost get to the championship. I mean, kid just, there's got to be something said for that.
Yeah, we heard from general manager Brian Gregory. He mentioned just the importance of having that hometown connection. He also mentioned his performance in the Final Four that really made Koa pop, and he knew he wouldn't be available in the second round. When you look at how he could fit into this system, you mentioned Rasheer Fleming. That's exactly who I thought of in terms of a young talent who can develop, who was able to grow in this regime. But how soon do you think Koa will be able to have an impact on this team? Will he become a key player sooner than we might expect him to?
Fantastic question. And let me totally dodge it, because I'm going to put the answer onto Koa's personality. And here's what I mean. does he accept the fact that he put up a 30-burger against Florida, was the talk of the country, then started to drop off a little bit, then bounced back in the NCAA tournament, but 29 teams told him no in the NBA, and then he gets the last spot of the first round? Where does that motivation take him? Because his impact has to be in an area where he sometimes impacted the game, and that is defense. He's got to realize right here, right now, if I want to play in the NBA, the first thing I have to accept is I have the length and the athleticism to be a lockdown defender. The next thing you need is basketball IQ. He's got that. And the next thing you need is an unrelenting heart to play defense. And I would say he's got an unrelenting heart for the game, but not always defensively. And that's got to change at the NBA level. Once he works on being a lockdown defender with his own mentality, then other things can fall into place. Everybody knows about his shooting. Yes, the shooting has to improve. There's no doubt about that. But I like the track record of this organization. I like where I see Brian Gregory and Jordan Ott taking this team. So I don't doubt they can get him to work on his shot and it can improve. I take a look, another look at Rasheer Fleming again, a young man that has gotten better all season long at all different aspects of the game. And at the end of the year, he's fighting for playing time as a starter, not just fighting for playing time to contribute off the bench. I don't see why that will be that dramatically different for Koa Peat if he takes on the mentality of defense first. You can play in the NBA right now, Koa, if you embrace defense and rebounding. You have the athleticism and you have the basketball IQ. You didn't always show it at U of A that you can be a great defender. I'm not ready to say great, but at the same time, why not try? So if he gives all that he can on the defensive end, the shot will come and it'll take time. Rasheer Fleming was not a great shooter when he was in college, and he got better and better all the time. Now, granted, he didn't stay for only 1 year at St. Joe's. So, yeah, do I think Koa Peat should have spent another year in Tucson? I really do. But it's none of my business. You know, he wants to be a millionaire now and have a long-term contract. Knock yourself out. And they've got a track record of player development under Brian Gregory.
I'll get you out on this, Doug. You look at Koa's career, what he's been able to accomplish at just 19 years old. Where is his ceiling? Could he become a franchise player? You look at the awards and the medals and the levels that he's won at. Where could Koa Peat kind of fall in the landscape of Arizona players and maybe all-time greats when you just look at what he's been able to accomplish this early in his career?
That is fantastic. And what you've done a great job of is setting me up for a Jalen Brunson type of quote. When I don't say he's not going to be a 1A kind of guy, and then 5 years later he's a world champion. I look at him as a strong contributor to a winning culture. That's what I look at with a Koa Peat. I don't look at him as a number 1A main piece right now. But the thing is, if you've got the heart and he's got the body type, then it's how far does he want to go? It's more of a mentality. Do you embrace you're not where you need to be? If he does, then he can achieve some level of greatness. Who knows? Maybe someday they're going to play me ripping him in the Ring of Honor ceremony too. But work on your shot and things will develop.
A father figure to countless Arizona athletes is beginning a new chapter. Longtime Valley basketball coach Damon Lopez announced he's stepping down from St. Mary's Catholic High School after 21 years of being an assistant and head coach for the program. I sat down with Lopez in March to talk about his family's rich history in the Valley and to reflect on the players he's helped to develop in the desert.
Here we go. We have 3 players a year in my family. My dad was player of the year in 1965 at Cortez High School. I was fortunate to be player of the year at Apollo High School in 1989, and then my brother Adam was player of the year here at St. Mary's 97. Played Division I basketball at Pepperdine. Started for 4 years there, had a wonderful career. 2 of those started in the backcourt with Doug Christie, who had a long career and is the coach of the Kings now. And very proud of our long tradition, a long family tradition, and seen the Valley grow up from the late 70s on through now, and can name all the great players, and we played with a lot of them and against them, and there's just wonderful people in the community, and we're just super proud of what the tradition of Arizona high school basketball has developed. I was an assistant for my dad for 12 years, and we had kids Jared Bayless and Channing Fry and Fontenette kids, and you know, we've had players of the year here in the state of Arizona, and so it's, you know, we're kind of used to working with this type of level of talent. I mean, these kids are obviously getting a little bigger, a little more athletic, but you know, at the end of the day, you still got to get your reps and your fundamentals in, otherwise, especially at this level, because this is when you learn all that. We're super fortunate. We're very lucky to have a wonderful fan base here. Our community and the St. Mary's community are fantastic people. The alums come back and watch. They can't believe the progress that's been made, and we're just so super grateful for the wonderful things that have been happening here.
Thanks for everything, Coach Lopez. We appreciate it.
Jake, you remember there was a time when the Cardinals used to really struggle signing their draft picks.
Yeah, it doesn't really become a problem until training camp starts. But here's the good news, as you mentioned, Mark. 6 of the Cardinals' 7 draft picks are now signed to their rookie deals. Today, the team announced they've agreed to a contract with 4th-round pick Caleb Proctor. He's the defensive lineman out of southeastern Louisiana. Quarterback Carson Beck remains the only unsigned rookie at this point. Cardinals summer break has begun for most of the players on the roster, but not for running back Jeremiah Love. Plenty of expectations and pressure sit on his shoulders. The reigning Doak Walker Award winner wouldn't have it any other way, though. He was the 3rd overall pick, spending most of his time at the practice facility gearing up for his first year in the NFL.
I'm not getting away. Like, I got to train, man. I gotta work every day. So my goal is to do something productive every single day, 7 days out of the week. And make sure I'm getting better in some type of way, and then my little downtime, watch some anime, play video games, and should call it a day.
No individual goals are on his mind, only what's best for the team.
I try not to just let other people influence that part of me. So I do think about it because it's very important. A lot of trust has been put into me, so I have a responsibility to think about it and do right by the people that put that trust in me. So think about it, but at the same time, I'm still who I am, and I'm going to go out there and do my best, and hopefully my best is good enough for, you know, my teammates and coaches and the ownership as well.
Having a famous dad and making your own name at times can be a challenge. In the McNabb household, that name comes with a promise to Dad.
Father's Day is every day for me. He usually comes out here and he does a few drills.
It's a typical day in the McNabb household. Family time is one big competition.
This is nonstop.
With lots of laughter and jokes.
Let's go!
This is the McNabb family. Mom Roxy runs the show. Many know Dad Donovan Sr., 13 years in the NFL, greatest QB in Philadelphia Eagles history.
No, because he has big passion.
The moves, they worked in the 90s. They worked in the 90s.
And best athlete in the family, according to Dad.
Best player in the family, that would be me.
No.
His kids will give him plenty of competition for that title. The oldest sister, Lexi, played basketball at Syracuse. Dad's alma mater.
My oldest was born, and we went to the Super Bowl. The twins were born, went to the NFC Championship. I'm the best shooter in the family.
No, you're not.
That includes Lexi. I'm the best shooter.
No, I am.
Then the twins, going into their senior year of high school.
This one's more competitive. This one has an attitude. This one's more athletic.
Donovan Jr. plays football and basketball for Brophy, just committed to UNLV. Soraya plays basketball and softball for Xavier, just committed to Indiana.
He always implemented us that if we don't work hard for what we want, then how are we ever going to get it?
Fittingly, Donovan Sr. coaches quarterbacks at Brophy. He still remembers the day Donovan Jr. told him he decided to play receiver.
When he made the move his freshman year to receiver, I'm like, what are you doing? Like, we've been preparing for this moment. He's just like, oh, well, Dad, I can play receiver. And I feel, you can play every position. As a dad, it took me some time, but I told him I'm going to be very supportive, but we got to go to work.
Wide receiver always stuck out to me as my favorite position. Even though he wanted me to be a quarterback, I didn't have as much love for it as he did, so I just switched to receiver.
And youngest son, Devin James, plays hockey at Basham.
No, I am not going to be on TikTok. I see a lot of my former teammates, people I played against with their kids dancing, and it looks awful.
Playing in the league was fun, but being a dad and supporting his kids in their sports, is life's greatest accomplishment.
For me, as I retired from football, I made it a point that I would be very supportive and an intricate part in their lives of just preparing them for what the future may hold. If it was football, if it was softball, if it's hockey, if it's basketball, whatever it may be, that we were going to get 10 toes down and put some work in.
And Dad would do anything for his kids, except a TikTok dance.
I don't even know what that means. What is that? Like
it's a scuba.
Ain't nobody scuba diving. What does that mean?
While future players are busy working out and trying to catch the eye of major league teams, former players are there watching. Former D-backs outfielder Gregor Blanco now works for the league. He's one-on-one with 12 Sports journalist Jake Garcia.
Gregor, as you take in the MLB draft combine today, the top high school, top college prospects in the game, what are you seeing out here today? What's the best part about this event?
Man, I thank you for the opportunity to have me here. Again, this is a great event. I think the guys to be able to perform themselves into professional baseball is a big deal for them. You know, like this is a serious information that they're giving all the teams. And for them to be here and showcase themselves and make sure like they're here and show like, hey, you know what, I want to become a major league player, I want to become a professional athlete. It means a lot for them.
So you work for the league now. Can you take us through what you've been up to since your playing career ended?
Well, yeah, after I end in 2020, I joined the commissioner's office as a senior director of baseball operations in Major League Baseball. And I've been doing that since and I love it. I think it's a great gig. And just being in baseball and the things that I love to do, being around all the 30 teams in big events.
You had a lot to do with the assembling of the roster for Team Venezuela in the World Baseball Classic. How much fun was that to be a part of, and then the ultimate payoff of winning the entire thing?
Yeah, it was a long hours, man. Long hours, definitely worth it. At the end of the day, when we were like we were world champions, like. On that tournament, it was amazing, like, and I wanted to do it again. I think it was great. It was awesome. The players buy into it, so it was really good.
A big part of that team was current D-backs pitcher Eduardo Rodriguez. What was it like to see him shine on such a big stage and then carry that momentum into the season that he's having this year?
Amazing. I think he was missing some of that. To tell you the truth, he was missing some of that spark before, and once he found it again on himself, like, you know what, I was able to do this again. I was able to compete and have that love for the game, and now he carry on, like you say, like through the season. It's big for us, you know. It's big for the game, and that's what we want. We want our players to expose themselves, to believe, and to have that passion and love for the game. When they go to the season, they continue to do it and keep playing the way they play in the World Baseball Classic.
Here with former MLB pitcher and current analyst on MLB Network, Dan Plesac. Dan, I got to imagine something like this did not exist when you were coming up through the ranks. What's the value of a day like today?
I think these young high school and college players are so much more advanced than it was years ago when I played. They're bigger, faster, stronger than ever. They're more position specific by the time they get into 8th and 9th grade. And they're just a lot more polished. And you see that when you watch them just take swings in the batting cage, throws from the outfield.
Today isn't just about what they're doing on the field. They're also talking with big league clubs and talking with you guys on the set of MLB Network. What have you noticed just about the polish that they have in holding conversations with really important people?
Just got done interviewing a kid that's probably going to go in the first round, Gio Rojas. And he's 18 years old, got on the set with us, and was like he was 25 years old. But with that said, there's far more exposure for the high school and the college kids. Now, so many of these games are online, they're streamed, they play in showcase games. They're exposed to a lot more. I really didn't do any interviews for baseball until my rookie year with the Milwaukee Brewers, so it's a totally different world now.
Speaking of your baseball career, you played here for one season, 1999. It was a special year for the D-backs, fastest expansion franchise to ever make the playoffs. What do you remember about that time? And obviously managed by Buck Showalter, the great season that Randy Johnson had. What sticks out when you come back here?
When I come back here, one game, there was a giveaway, Shamrock Farms. If somebody hit a grand slam, there was a grand slam inning. And the woman who got to pick a player that day picked Jay Bell. And Jay Bell, the count, I believe, ran to 3-0, and it got back to 3-2, and he hit a 3-2 pitch for a home run to win that lady $1 million. And I remember sitting in the bullpen with bullpen coach Glenn Sherlock, and I said, this is our year. When magical stuff like this happens, this is the year of the D-backs.
That story still lives on in D-backs lore. It's one that fans know really well. You obviously follow the league incredibly closely, and I got to imagine the D-backs are no exception to that. What do you make of where they're at right now? Recently ravaged by injuries, trying to stay alive in the NL wildcard.
You know, the D-backs have been a funny team. When you think they're falling out of it, they win 4 or 5 games, and then when they get on a nice little streak, they take a couple of steps backwards. I think the thing that has surprised me the most, I thought bringing Zach Gallen back, I thought he would pitch well here. Merrill Kelly's had some struggles, ups and downs. Brandon Pfaadt's had some struggles, ups and downs. I think that the Diamondbacks as an organization thought their starting pitching was going to be much better than it is right now. And until they get that straightened out, they're going to continue to win a couple, lose a couple. But listen, there are a lot of teams still in the hunt for the wild card. You know, as bad as a team can look one week, you have a good week where you go 5-1, you're right back in. It's way too early to pull the plug on the Diamondbacks.
We're paging Dr. Diamondback. Is there a doctor in the building, or maybe a snake charmer, a snake healer? Whoever's got the goods. Look at this list. It's longer than a CVS receipt.
Yeah.
11 D-backs currently on the injured list in some capacity. Many of them just hit the list in the last several days. Half of them on the 60-day IL. A couple names could be back soon. Fingers crossed, right? Either way, stunning list to look at. You see those names, some setbacks also. It's just miraculous that the D-backs are still in the wild card race.
Yeah, keep this up for just a second. You know, Corbin Burns at the top had a setback, by the way. Jordan Lawler just put back on the IL.
A.J. Puck, another setback as well.
2 as well. He's going to get like a second and third opinion.
Ryan Nelson's
going to be out. He might not even pitch the rest of the year. He's targeting September. James McCann, they hope to get back. Justin Martinez will be back at some point.
Remember Carlos Santana?
I do. Who knows when he'll be back? He's on the 60-day IL. Andrew Saalfrank, by the way, trying to play his way back. No, actually, he'll be out for the whole year. And then Michael Soroka just put on the injured list, too, as well. Like, Lena, people are asking what's wrong with this team. And it's this. It's that list with all those names that the D-backs are counting on. And right now, they just can't play. And that's what's hurting this team. I don't know how you deal with it. I saw people online last night like, how dare Torey Lovullo keep leaving Zach Gallen in there? Folks, they got nobody else.
They had Ildemaro Vargas pitching.
Yeah,
They're going to position players just to save arms because the bullpen is already depleted. The rotation is shaky. Brandon Pfaadt's trying to get stretched out. You never know who might be on the mound.
Listen, at some point, guys got to play and guys got to perform, and those out there have to perform. Zach Gallen has to be better. Merrill Kelly has to be better. Jordan Lawler's got to stay in the lineup. Like, he's a guy they're going to count on out there in the outfield. Michael Soroka, as good as he was playing, he needs to come back too as well. So, like, it's just tough right now. They have too many injuries, and the way they're standing right now, where they're at in this season, I think it's a miracle they're at that point.
Well, they've got another tough stretch ahead against National League teams.
D-backs hit the road this week. Look at this. Taking on 2 second-place teams in their respective divisions. First, a 4-game set with the Cardinals in St. Louis, then a weekend series on the East Coast against the Rays. D-backs' next homestand starts a week from Monday against the Giants.
Now, despite the loss today, it was a dream come true for one Diamondbacks fan. Francisco Duran had never been to an MLB game before, but that all changed after a video from a family member got the attention of Corbin Carroll. 12 Sports journalist Jake Garcia has more from the ballpark.
In a sea of dads for Father's Day baseball, it was a wave of support that got one family in the door. The Durans are diehard D-backs fans. Husband and wife Victor and Monica have made today an annual tradition. But today is also unlike any of the others. Well past time for Victor's dad to take in his country's pastime. 73-year-old Francisco Duran Infante has watched plenty of games at home. But nothing beats lower-level seats. A beautiful view to celebrate the beauty of life. Victor knows he may not get many more of these moments.
He's already had like 2 heart procedures. They couldn't give him a 3rd one because of his age. They said it was too risky.
His dad is battling heart failure. Failures of the medical system mean all cures are too expensive.
He would need a new heart, or he would need a machine that would act as a heart. And things like that are just not affordable. Te voy a poner uno.
But Monica could give him what his heart desired.
I was like, I still need to get you to that baseball game. Like, I don't care what it takes.
Hi,
everyone. This is day one of
The solution was simple.
the attention of the Arizona Diamondbacks.
This video went viral
My father-in-law went into the hospital in cardiogenesis.
and found its way to the algorithm of a D-backs outfielder.
When he commented, I seen it and I called my husband. I was like, you're not going to believe this.
I told her to double check. I said, man, are you sure? Are you sure? She's like, yeah, it was Corbin Carroll, the blue check mark next to the name.
Corbin in the comments got the Durans in the stands, a child cherishing the gesture.
That means so much. His first game. You know, I've always wanted to come to a baseball game.
A parent giving perspective.
I'm with my kids and my family, and I'm grateful for the years of life I've gotten.
A daughter-in-law overcome with emotion.
His dad kind of feels like my dad a little bit because I've known him half my life. I don't know if he knows this, but he's impacted me and helped me in so many ways.
A heart that was too big for this world. Francisco's first game could be his last game, but today always felt like a dream anyways.
And I'm just so thankful I'm able to bring him to this game and have him enjoy a Father's Day.
A couple years ago, after a standout career at Hamilton High, Rock Chalowski told MLB teams to not even bother drafting him. Millions of dollars could not talk him out of his commitment to UCLA. 3 years later, he's become one of the best players in college baseball, and this time, he's ready to turn pro. Chalowski is no stranger to the MLB Draft Combine. He showcased his talents at Chase Field in 2023, but being a pro at 18 years old wasn't good enough. He wanted to be the #1 overall pick. Well, after back-to-back Big Ten Player of the Year awards at UCLA, that's now where he's projected to go. Chalowski is thankful for his roots here in the Valley, for the development and coaching he got at Hamilton.
Both the state championship runs. I mean, it's, you know, I grew a close bond with the kids at UCLA, but I mean, it's pretty special, you know, the kids that you grow up with for, you know, however long you're playing youth baseball and then going to the same high school, winning the state championship twice is pretty cool. Guys that I still talk to 3-4 years down the road, you know, I'll go back and call or talk to text, I'll work out with them in the off season. So, you know, they've always given me a home, so I'm really appreciative of that.
And that'll do it for us. Thank you so much for watching 12 Sports Tonight on the 12 News Free 24/7 streaming app. I'm Cameron Cox. We'll see you back here Sunday night for the best sports coverage in town. Here's the lineup. Arizona's #1 sports show, 12 Sports Locker Room, right after Sunday Night Baseball, right here on NBC. And then, of course, 12 Sports Tonight at 10:30. Good night. God bless.